Hello out there in podcast land. Welcome to Beer League in the Get Off My Lawn studios. How's everyone doing out there? Hey, Greg.
Hey, what's going on, Seth? What have you been up to, man?
Oh, busy week. Very busy week. Baseball, hockey, all that other fun stuff going on. Unfortunately, I did have to go down to Florida.
Yeah.
A little rough couple days. Sorry to my dad. Passing and everything, and kind of sucks. But Dad, I love you, regardless of how our relationship was. But you're always my dad, and I always will love you, man. So thank you so much, Dad.
You were down there in Tampa, and then you came back for some hockey weekend, and you said you got baseball, hockey. You had 6 youth events.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. We're running around. I'm the moron dad again, like we keep talking about it. Let's keep feeding the machine. Friday, my kid had 2 hockey games. Saturday, had a hockey game, and then we had a wedding to go to. Then on Sunday, we had a 7 o'clock hockey game.
Yeah.
Then we ran to 2 baseball games. And yesterday it was freezing out, and my kid's looking at me going, Dad, I'm tired, but I want to play. I'm like, okay. And he didn't do too good.
Good Lord.
He was terrible.
That was tough.
Oh, he was all over the place. Coach, I know Coach Noon. You already know. We were talking. You said you're a beer league fan, and I apologize. Kid should have got some sleep, and he wasn't too good. Thanks for taking him out, though. He needed that because he was terrible.
Yeah, well, you've been busy, and then you missed out. It was a busy week before you left, too. I mean, lots going on here.
Spinning. There's lots of spinning now. But I just want to get to our special guest today.
Oh, yeah.
Frank Wright. Frank Wright here is definitely, he's the Commish. We're calling you the Commish, Frank. The Commish of Sportsplex. Get them claps going.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
There we go. He's the Commish of Centennial Ice Rink. Right? Centennial Ice Rink. We'll say it there. And there's a lot of stuff going on here this week. And if you saw some of our TikTok videos and our YouTube videos, and we had some special live performances.
Yeah, Beer League Live.
It was first one, right?
Follow us on the TikTok, lots of good stuff, and then also on the YouTube channel. YouTube's heating up here.
It is. It definitely is. We got the YouTube, and the Spotify is always the one that we want to go with because that's what we were on, right?
That's the original.
Here we go. Well, Frank, thank you so much for coming down here.
Thanks for having me.
No, man, thank you. You're a busy man. You're a busy man. You got a lot of stuff going on right now. He's drinking out of a fire hose. That's how much stuff he's going on with right now. So, Frank, first things first, man, again, welcome to the show. Appreciate it, man. And, we just like to shoot the breeze here, have a couple pops talking about some just youth sports and basically why it's called Beer League is because every youth sports or even professional sports, where does it all end up in?
The Beer League.
The Beer League, exactly. From hockey, baseball, quote-unquote softball when you're still drinking beers in the dugout, and basketball. But like I said, if anyone's playing Beer League football, God bless you, man, because that's going to hurt you. Yeah, I don't want to play that.
Once you're retired from football, you're retired.
You play golf. You play golf. Oh man! Again, Frank. So thanks so very much for coming down here. So let's get a little background on you.
Okay.
Where are you from? Were you from here? Tell me your youth.
I'm a native.
Oh my God!
Oh wait!
Nashville native.
Whoa! Wait! He's a unicorn. The only one, right? Congratulations! Wow, we found one.
The only one left.
We found one. So you went to high school here too, and everything.
Went to high school at Hume Fogg downtown. Never skated until I think I tried it once as a teenager. Sucked. Couldn't. If you'd called me a baby deer, you'd be giving me a compliment. I lasted about 10 minutes. Just happened to get a part-time job with Parks when I was 15. It kind of snowballed into running the rink.
Oh my God! So how many years you been working there?
40.
Wow!
Started in 1985.
Oh my God! So you have
Long time ago.
Like Greg said earlier, he knows where all the dead bodies are buried.
Yeah, few of them.
So you were wow! That's awesome. 40 years down there. So it still hasn't changed, though, right?
Oh yeah, it's changed a lot.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Was always the pool there too, or no?
Our original rink was 2 blocks over where Centennial Medical Center is now.
Really?
It opened in 1979. Before that, the only ice in town was at Municipal Auditorium.
Okay.
That's where the Dixie Flyers started. Okay. They started the Nashville Youth Hockey League in
so they played there too.
So, yeah, Municipal Auditorium.
1964.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow. That's amazing, man. Well, it is 60 plus years that youth hockey has been downtown here, and with the Dixie Flyers and the Flyers organization. Oh my God! So you never played youth hockey during that time?
Never played youth hockey. Hockey wasn't even on my radar. Back then we had 3 channels, right? You didn't know much about hockey down here.
No, not at all.
As a matter of fact, the first hockey game I ever watched was the Miracle game.
Really?
Yep.
It's the best one that got you hooked, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a good start.
But even then, so I would have been 10 years old then, 11 maybe, and I didn't know playing hockey was an option around here, so it didn't even never crossed my mind to try to play, until I started working at the rink and tried it in figure skates a few times, and finally moved to hockey skates, and in my mid-20s I started just playing around sticking puck on dead ice and stuff like that, and eventually started playing.
Oh man. Well, I got to tell you, I played with you. I played with him one time, and we had Frank called me up. He's
boys from Yukon territory.
Yeah, the White Horse.
Yeah,
the White Horse. We one day, hey, they need a goalie. Some team from Canada, White Horse, way up there in Yukon. They needed a goalie, and Frank reached out to me. He goes, "Hey, you want to play?" I'm like, "Yeah, why not? I'm back playing. What the hell?" Play with them. These guys were great. That
was a blast.
There was so much. They gave me. I still have that T-shirt they have from White Horse, the White Horse travel hockey team, because half of those guys were all coaches up there. They told us about their men's league team, and they told us they coached Dylan Cousins, the #1 draft pick for the Buffalo Sabres a couple years ago.
Okay.
And I remember the guy telling me, he goes, "There's going to be a kid coming up." And he's like, I think he's like 11 or 12 years old. The kid's supposed to be a superstar. Sure enough, it's Gavin McKenna. He's going to be the #1 pick next year. And he was telling me he coached that kid up there.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm like, what? It just all of a sudden clicked back to me. I'm like, oh my God, like I still got the guy's number. He was great. Those guys were terrific.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
How'd you play against these Yukon guys?
I sucked. That was.
Did you get peppered?
No, I was good actually, right? I think it was good. I don't know.
We were solid.
Yeah.
It was touch and go.
It was fun. It was fun. Beer league, man. We don't care. We don't. That's the thing is, even with you ask a kid, hey, do you remember that tournament in Chicago when you were 10 years old? Yeah. Did you win? I have no idea, but we went around and played shinny hockey, or we knocked on doors all day long. That was us, right, Frank? I don't know if we won a damn game. Did you remember?
We might have won one.
Oh, man. It was fun. I know we went across the street to that one little bar. They were giving out the tickets to us. So we were drinking over there, too. It was a good time. We had a couple beers there. But, yeah, these guys were great, too. And thank you, Frank, for reaching out to me to play goal for you on that time.
You're welcome.
But you know what? And you're telling me you got on the skates like that? I would never know. I know you was a good hockey player.
I took a few lessons here or there, but just kind of picked up things from coaches. And
Did you ever coach up there too at all? Or no?
Coached a few years.
Okay.
Assistant coach mostly. I head coached a Flyers team 1 year.
Oh, you did, huh?
Pee Wee.
Okay.
Pee Wee travel.
How'd you like it?
It's got its pluses and its minuses. We had a good group,
Okay.
that we really did. We weren't super competitive. We were probably.
Well, that was still with the Preds in town yet? Oh no,
the Preds were in town, and at that time, we weren't really considered a full travel team. We were a house all-star team.
Okay.
Because the junior Predators ran all the travel hockey for a year or two.
Okay, well, it was like the TPH, right, or something like that.
I tell you, that all-star, that's kind of nice, right?
Oh,
You get four weekends that you travel, and that's it. You get the taste of it without all the. Oh man!
Hey, let's go to Knoxville. Let's go to Atlanta. Let's do this. Hey, we need more. Let's get more money in this.
There's nothing wrong with a little all-star action.
Yeah, I think I like that too. I do like that. That's for sure.
So win or lose, you make a lot of good friends. The parents on the team. We're all still friends, whether we're in touch regularly or not. And when you got your own teammates, those boys run into each other, and it's like they never.
That's always that's the best part.
Yeah,
the locker room.
Yeah,
let's be honest, the locker room, and I think that's where you talk to any athlete that's ever played any sport in their life. It's the locker room. It's the dugout. It's the, the camaraderie. Mm-hmm. It's just the camaraderie, and that's your friendship. And we've said this in numerous times. My best friends growing up were guys who played hockey with, guys who played football with, guys who played baseball with. Greg, my friendships up here is from youth hockey, youth baseball. And from my wife. My wife's best friends are from the dance, youth dance. My daughter was in dance, so that's how it is. And because we're all not from here. You, like I said, you're a unicorn. You're the original here. You're OG. So, over 40 years, you must have seen some really cool stuff or really crazy stuff going on at the rinks. And give me an example of what was probably one of just throwing something at you. What was probably the most funniest thing or the most thing you go, oh, come on, people, please.
Well, we may as well just jump right into beer league.
There we go.
This is one of my favorite story. I probably should have saved it for last, but we'll just go ahead and get it out of the way first. So this is probably 20, 25 years ago. We had Rink B was still pretty new, and before we had Rink B, the Sportsplex didn't run our adult leagues.
Really?
We had a group called the CB Hockey League that had a few teams and played on Sundays pretty regularly. And then we had a league called the Nashville Blades that played on the weeknights after the kids were done. Okay. And, just one sheet of ice, remember. So that, they would play at 10:30, 11 o'clock. And then when we opened the second rink and the Predators were in town now, you started getting a lot of beginners interested in it. And we started running the leagues ourselves to open it up to, the beginners and the novices and those guys. Rink B was a little bit different. Our bleachers at the time didn't have any railings.
Okay.
And that comes in to play later in the story.
Oh boy. Because matter of fact, I was actually saying that the other day, going, what's with these damn railings? But now you tell me, proceed, let's do this.
And then we also had a half wall of dasher boards to separate the Zamboni path.
Okay.
So it was a little more cramped down there by the end of the bleachers. So we're playing in this championship game for, at the end of our season. The other team, who was probably a little bit better than us, but they were missing their best guy. He was out of town or something. I don't know who scheduled that game, but
you.
So anyway, we're winning the game. The score's getting a little lopsided. Game's getting a little chippy. One of our younger guys goes in on a breakaway. Goalie comes out, just pitchforks his feet right out from under him. Guy does a cartwheel. The next guy on my team closest to the goalie, of course, gives the goalie a shot.
Oh, boy.
And then the guy who on the other team that considered himself a goon starts the fight.
Okay.
So trying to think of aliases on the fly here.
Yeah, you don't say. You say person A or person B. No one gets in trouble on this one unless you know who you are.
So my teammate and the goon are fighting. The refs get in, break it up, throw the guys out of the game. Right before we start play again, we see the goon going into our locker room.
Oh boy.
So we, of course, start
Just got to run off the
going
ice.
to check on our teammate, right? So one by one, we're getting out of the door right there by the Zamboni.
Uh-huh.
My teammate and the goon come out of the locker room, fist flying. and my teammate's quite a bit smaller than the goon.
Okay.
So one by one, guys start jumping in. It turns into
Melee.
a melee. And I mean, it's not even a clean line brawl. You know, you don't have guys paired up, squared off.
And you guys are
it's just a pile.
And then you got skates flying everywhere on the mats and out there.
So, you know, I work there. I'm trying not to fight. I'm trying to play peacemaker.
Yeah.
That's not going well at all.
Oh boy.
So, younger kid on the opposing team. I'm behind him. He's throwing punches. I'm trying to lock his arm so he can't punch. He's too slippery. I can't do it. So I take his helmet, shove it from behind, and it goes over his eyes. And he's young, full of piss and vinegar. He's still throwing punches.
Oh boy.
Hitting his own players at this time. So I'm getting a little bit of a chuckle out of that. Well, more and more guys come off, and you finally got a proper little battle royal going. And it starts to kick in. It's like, okay, this is getting serious here.
Yeah.
How am I going to stop this? I got to go call the police.
Oh boy.
I can't get out of the pile to go call the police. but that's my thought process is, shit, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Right about this time, this big guy from the stands in his street clothes comes off the top of the bleachers with just, I can only call it an atomic elbow.
Oh my God. He thought it was Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
Macho Man would have been proud.
That's awesome.
He nails the goon with this elbow. And everybody in the fight just kind of stops and looks around like, did that really just happen? Nobody could believe it. And that diffused the whole fight. It broke up the fight.
That's
The
hysterical.
refs finally get off the ice, pull us apart. And to this day, the only thing missing was the, oh yeah.
That's awesome. People probably still talking. Remember the guy? Remember Jimmy Superfly Snuka? Macho Man came flying off and stopped the fight. Oh, that's awesome.
The real peacemaker.
There you go. So did you finish the game?
I don't even remember.
See, there you go. Just like that's how beer league works, boys.
It took the wind out of our sails for the championship, and it's like,
That's
oh
it.
yeah, we just won. Okay, whatever.
Maybe we won. We don't know, but that was awesome.
And who was that guy? Was he a friend of the team, or was he just a random guy, just a
Well,
hero?
so that's kind of part two of the story because I never knew who it was. Now the guy that I'm calling the goon had a brother that was a pretty big guy that would come watch his games sometime. I thought maybe that was him, but never really found out for sure. And it's not, not like people are lining up to tell you,
that was
hey,
me.
There's no video on your
Yeah.
phone back in that day either. It's just a mystery elbow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So you fast forward several years. That was my last game on that team, because I was running the leagues directly at the time.
Yeah.
I would move around every couple of seasons to not play favorites, that type thing.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure they'll
several
probably
years
say
later,
something to you too, like, "Oh, well, you're scheduling games on you." No, man. So
several years later, I get back on a team with my original teammate that got in the fight. I can probably say his name. We call him Little Ray.
okay.
So we're in the locker room for the first game. I see Little Ray. We're catching up. Hadn't seen each other since. Yeah, you remember that game 7 years ago when you got the big fight, fell off the ice, and that guy came out of the bleachers with the elbow, and I never did figure out who that guy was. Little Ray's dad, Big Ray, is sitting right next to him. He goes, "That was me."
Oh my God, that was awesome.
I didn't know Big Ray at the time, but in that period in between, Big Ray started playing again.
Oh man,
He's a pretty good player. He actually still plays now in that CB league.
Does he really?
I saw
Okay.
him just Sunday.
Oh wow.
And yeah, Little Ray was on the bottom of the pile, so Big Ray comes down with the atomic elbow, and
That is so funny. That must have been so great. Like, you're the guy? That's the metal elbow?
Yeah.
So you should just call him Macho Man for the rest of the time. Not Big Ray. You're Macho Man. Oh, God. That's great. Oh, man. So now, okay, 40 years you've been there. You played. Do you still play?
A little bit.
Okay. I retired. I can't play the game anymore.
I play on Sunday. I'm sorry to hear that.
Nah, you know what? It's time. Body hurts. Everything hurts. It's just we're not going to get into that totally too much. And as a goalie, you get there 2 hours earlier, 2 hours later, and I get the family, and you're like, nah, I'm going to hang out with the family and everything. But yeah, I retired. I know, Mikey. Sorry out there. You always call me up. Hey, we need a goalie. I'm like, buddy, I ain't playing anymore, man. He's like, what? What do you mean? I'm like, yeah, man.
Goalie's not something you just jump back into after.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I remember when I first moved here, because I moved in this area 16 years ago, and I played over at A game. And, because I moved over there, I'm like, there's a rink here. I'm still going to play. Yeah. Then I played on a B team, and they were not that good. And I got peppered, and they're like, we're going to go to C division. I'm like, no, I'm not going to go down to C. I'll still play. I go, give me an A team. So I played an A game at A game. And it was high level again, and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I stopped, and I came back. I'm like Brett Favre. I keep coming back, and then you called me.
It's hard to get it out of your system. It's hard to give up.
It is. I say I'll play one more game with my son.
Yeah.
When he plays, that's it. That's when I really, really retire. But that's the time I want to play, and because again, we'll play together in beer league. That's for sure. Yeah. That's where we end up. But again, you've been here for 40 years. You still play once in a while. And you run the men's league here.
Well, I oversee Matt Oberreckling runs the league directly.
Okay.
And he works for me.
Okay. All right. So, but you oversee everything. Yeah. You make sure all the I's are dotted.
That's the commissioner.
That's the commissioner. Yeah, he's the commish. We'll call him the commish. He's the commish. That's for sure. Very cool. So, so now with the cat's out of the bag a little bit here, so let's stop here on this. So it's for men's league. When you played, who was your favorite hockey player growing up?
I mean, everybody loved Gretzky.
Okay.
Almost everybody.
Okay.
And even before I played and just kind of started watching a little bit, what he did on the ice was just, it wasn't that he was so much more skilled than everybody else. He just played at a different mental level than everybody else.
Nice.
And any other player. So when he played one game in Nashville when he was with the Rangers on his farewell season. I think he had 5 assists that game.
I think he did too.
So, and if he'd have scored, that would have been the goal that broke Gordie Howe's record.
Oh wow!
For goals
at that time.
At that time.
Oh man!
But he only had 5 assists. He didn't score.
Only. That's awesome.
And so that was the Preds' inaugural season.
Okay.
It was Gretzky's last, and I worked on the ice crew down there up until that game.
Okay.
That was my last game. So I was standing just right by the Zamboni door when he was playing, and he made a play that any other player, I would have thought that was just stupid luck. But they're on a power play. He's in the corner, behind the goal line, no angle to shoot. His passing lane is actually covered. So he takes the puck, bounces it, ricochets it off the post, right on his teammate's tape, and puts it in the net. And everybody on the ice jaw just kind of. Any other player, but you could almost see him working that out.
Oh yeah.
In his mind.
Funny story on that one. I did have a conversation with an ex Predator, Martin Wright.
Okay.
And we were talking one time, and he's like, I go, who's when he coaches? He goes, well, Wayne Gretzky was one of my coaches, and when he went to Arizona.
Oh yeah. That's
and he
right.
goes, he wasn't. It's amazing. He goes, we're all sitting around watching film, and Gretzky walked in. He goes, guys, come on. You don't see this happening? This is going to happen. This, and happen. And everyone's like, what the hell are you talking about? Sure enough, that happened. He goes, because he just saw the game so much differently.
2 or 3 moves ahead of everybody else.
And the thing is, and he was like frustrated at the team that they didn't see that. That's why he really wasn't a good coach, because he saw things so much differently than anybody else. And they were like, I don't know what the guy's talking about. But that's why I think his frustration got that too. And that's why he's not coaching anymore. Yeah. You know, because he just was such a different animal on that one. All right. Like I was saying earlier, though, about the cat's out the bag right now. So you're in men's league. You oversee this whole men's league thing. And we know what's going on right now with the Centennial thing. And, again, if you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to talk about it too much. But I know there's a lot of things happening here, especially from our side as parents of kids in the youth hockey situation. You know, again, we are open to everything. We're just listening, finding out what's good, what's not good, or what's bad, or what's good, you know, whatever. That we don't really have an opinion on this whole situation, Greg. Right? Is that what we're looking at this too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to see what everybody has to say, and things happen, and you know, you got to make the most of it. You got to control things you can control.
Exactly.
But everybody has a different perspective. And it'll be interesting to hear, and we're hoping to, you know, have different people on here to kind of see what they're thinking, and because there's a lot going on out there, and some of it's true, and some of it's not, and some of them are legitimate concerns, and some of them are things that, well, I don't know if that's the biggest issue. Yeah. But, you know, I guess just backing it up, can you tell us, like, running the beer league, running the men's league, like, what kind of stuff do you have to do? Like, that's pretty busy job, I imagine, but walk us through, like, what does it take to make the league run smoothly without people throwing elbows?
Yeah,
in a perfect situation.
We didn't suspend people back then like we should have. So, yeah, a lot of what I do now directly with the men's league is, you know, I'll have to review some suspensions. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes guys will appeal. Sometimes guys will just accept it and say, you know, sorry, I screwed up. I'll do better.
Mm-hmm. Well, now you got videos, so you can see.
Huge.
So that's huge instead of just what the referee said. He said, she said, you know, and you go, oh, wait a second here.
Yeah, that's made things so much easier when it comes to that.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I say, Matt Oberbreckling runs the leagues directly and does an amazing job. So I don't do a lot of direct work.
Did you do that previously?
No, I did do that previously. Okay. It's probably been 15 years or so ago.
Okay.
And the leagues were a little younger. We didn't have as many levels, didn't have as many players. We're up to, I think, around 60 teams.
Well, I'm going to say Centennial hockey players. Again, I mean, this is, I'm not to bash or say or praise you guys too much, but I always said, you know, when I first moved here, I played at A game, and then that took a dump, and so playing, and I went and played it played 1 or 2 games at Centennial. Then I ended up playing over at Fordyce Center. I have noticed, I made some really cool friends at Fordyce, and I met some really cool friends at Centennial. Actually, the guy's house that I rented and I bought from, he's plays in Centennial. He's a defenseman. He always gets in trouble from what I always heard. But yeah, played on his team a couple times. But I always noticed that the better players and the better leagues are always in Centennial. Is it because of, I don't know. I mean, just to me, it seemed like the better players were at Centennial than it was at Ford. Do you have any insight on that? Why it was like that, or why? You know, I mean, I guess because I know like there's a team called TAG. Mm-hmm. You know, TAG is all ex-NHL players.
Just about.
Yeah. So I mean, I played a game against them. I go, this is the stupidest thing I'm doing right here. You know, and these guys are zipping by me, and they're shooting everything. Like, this is dumb. I'm out of here. When I first played,
I'd like to see that live barn.
No, I don't think it had live barn. It was 16 years ago when I first came down here. But let me, you know, do they have upper A in Ford, or do they just now all the upper A's are just strictly here?
I'm not 100% sure, but I think they only go up to B at the Fords.
Okay.
Now, their Bs are pretty good. They have some A players in the B, I'm sure. And I also think a lot of those, ex-pros will do like a weekly skate, like a private skate somewhere.
Okay. Well, that's at the barn.
That and I think they might do Bellevue some too.
Okay.
Because they have at one point they were going to run the Predators Alumni Association out of Bellevue.
Okay.
I don't know if that's still a big thing or not, but as far as Centennial goes, our central location certainly helps.
Yeah. Right downtown. I mean, my God, it's perfect.
But I think it ultimately just comes down to some consistency with times, with getting schedules out, the way you run the league, the way you police the league, that we've got the same guys doing it that have done it for 20, 25 years.
Yeah.
And I think we've just developed a good product.
Yeah. No, I mean,
it's not to say that the other places don't, but
I don't say that. I wouldn't say that either. I would say it's just like a different product. It's a simple product. It's simple. It's simple. It's easy. It is what we are. And again, it's the one thing I always still got is there's no beer there. There's no beer in the concession stands. You know what? But growing up in New York, we never really had beer in our concession stands either. So it really wasn't something that I was craving. But I get a little older. I kind of like a beer when watching game too. But I understand. It's a
park.
Yeah, it's a park.
It's a park policy.
Yeah. Will that change if things change? Is there talk about that at all too, or is it still going to be technically a park? If what you've heard,
it's still going to be park property.
Okay.
The Ford Centers, although they're not necessarily park property, but they're private city property.
Yeah. Oh, they are. Okay.
The city built those, and they have management lease agreements with the Predators to run and operate them.
Okay.
And there are, there's a community center or recreation center attached to Bellevue.
Mm-hmm.
There's one adjacent to Fort Antioch. So both of those facilities are public-private partnerships.
Okay. I know, we hear the voices of a lot. Me and Greg, we hear the voices a lot of the youth side on this thing. The pros and cons of this whole situation. We see the youth sport, the youth side of travel hockey, the All-Star, the rec leagues. Are you hearing a lot of chatter from the men's league right now at the possibility of this happening? And if people don't understand out there in podcast land, there's addendum out right now that the Predators are going to purchase. Right, Greg? It purchased the.
It's not a purchase. It's a leasing agreement. Now they already have a lease. They've had one forever, but it's going to be more of an operation of the sheets of ice at the Sportsplex. But of course, the Sportsplex also has
the pools.
There's tennis courts. I mean, it's a plex.
It is. They got pickleball courts back there and a gym. Can we get in that gym?
Center?
Yeah, I want to get in that gym. I need to get.
I would like to go in that gym.
How do we get in that gym?
It's open, I think, for another hour and a half tonight.
Right.
Can anybody go in there?
Can we just go in? Really?
It's public. You can pay a per visit, single visit.
I can get swole.
There's
Well, I mean, it's
monthly
not
and yearly memberships.
not
Really?
Mount
Okay.
Olympus. There's not gods in there.
Hey, but I wouldn't mind just dropping my kid off instead of sitting in that rink getting cold. I want to do something. I'll be operational instead of going to walk to get coffee or Dunkin' Donuts. That Dunkin' Donuts got to stay open later too over there on that other side.
All right, well, we'll get you in there. And
Let's get. I'm gonna work out now.
how much is that
Yeah.
fee? Is it $10? How much do you have to pay to go into that gym?
I should know this, but I don't. It's
putting you
around
I'm
10.
putting you on the spot
10
here, Frank.
10 or
I'm
12.
sorry.
No, it's good, 10 or 12. I do know that the agreement that we have with Nashville Youth Hockey, the parents have access to discounted membersps over there.
That's it. You heard that.
All right,
That's
thanks,
it.
guys.
You've
It's been a
heard
great
that
show.
out there. That's it, James. I'm coming after you, James. We need to know. You look at me, you're gonna. That guy's got to get
Yeah,
buff.
there's some that need it more than others, but
Dude, I'm right here, man.
but
Hurt my feelings. when
you
say
ran a marathon once, so
half marathon, not a full. I was gonna do it.
That's half more than I've ever run.
There you go. All right, let's get back to what I asked you before. Have you heard any talk about the men's league side or the men's players, having some concerns about this? Okay, all right. If you want to say what you've heard.
what are you hearing out there? Like,
Well, I mean, they're concerned.
Mm-hmm.
One, that prices are going to go up and the times might get later, and that's out of my control.
Yeah.
But they're definitely concerned.
Well, I gotta throw something out to you. I'm gonna throw softball to you right now.
Okay.
The times. Times to me were always, when I was up in New York, and we have plenty of ice up there in New York when we played in a league called Midnight Hockey. And guess what? We played at midnight. We played at 1 in the morning. We played at 2 in the morning because the ice was always there for the youth. Youth hockey, youth travel, A League, B League, C League of whatever, double A, single A, triple A.
they don't have any D's up there, huh? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay. All right.
They throw them off the ice. No. Anyway, my concern is everyone say, oh, we don't have enough ice down here in Nashville. You kind of do. Because I know sometimes when we walk off the ice on a Sunday, like, we're practicing, and I go, and my joke is how it all started, too. I grab the kids and, hey, guys, look, there's your future. Beer league, men's league. And I'm like, it's great. But then I'm going, wait a second. There's a men's league game going on at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Sundays. Yeah. I'm going, this is prime ice for kids too. Yeah, I get it. I'm in the middle because as a ex beer league player, when I first moved down here, like, oh yeah, you play on Sundays. I'm like, Sundays is my family day. I'm not going to go play hockey at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, which is a great time. Don't get me wrong, but that's prime time for kids and for youth hockey. And I don't know, it's just something that I've always found concerning to me. That
has it always been that way at Centennial? Have they always had pretty good Sunday hours, or over the years is it
ever
shifted?
since we went to 2 sheets, and that would have been around 2000. We usually start our adult leagues at around 1 or 2 o'clock on Sundays. Right now it's the A rink. The B rink, it's a little bit later. The youth teams go till about 4 o'clock, and then the sled team has a slot, and then the adult leagues start around 5. And that's just typically been because our travel teams are part of that SYTHL.
Yeah.
And for as long as I can remember, the SYTHL was kind of formed to make the traveling a little bit easier. Because before, you go back like 25, 30 years, and the teams would just come in. You'd get 1 or 2 teams come in, play 2 or 3 games, and go home.
Yeah.
They'd be here Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The idea behind the SYTHL schedule is that you're within a 4 or 5 hour drive of most rinks. So your Saturday afternoon games will start around 1 or 2 o'clock. You don't have to come in on Friday. You come in on Saturday. You play a couple of games, pay for 1 hotel night, play a couple of games Sunday morning, and you're back home at 5 or 6 in the evening.
Yeah.
So that model kind of left the Sunday afternoon slots as prime adult league slots.
Okay, so that's how it. Because I was always wondering, I'm going, this is like prime time. prime time with kids, or to have youth leagues, or have a house league games or something like that. House league practices from the younger kids. I know when we first started, termites were Sunday at 12:00.
Yep, that's still there.
It's still Sunday at 12:00. I guess even earlier, like, oh, well, around here it's church. You got to go to church and that type of stuff. People, but it was always weird. How much is ice time there? If you wanted to rent ice, what is that an hour? How does that work there?
So our like the NYHL and the high school league, our bulk users, pay $300 an hour.
Okay,
and Joe Public that wants to just book an odd hour here or there, it's between $325 and $375 is kind of our max.
Okay,
and that's for mostly tournaments that require extra staffing or longer shifts or something like that.
Could you rent the ice at say 3 a.m. now?
Theoretically, you could.
Okay.
I don't think I would be able to staff it.
Okay.
At my current levels.
Okay. Because it's weird. Because that's why when I was back in New York, I coached hockey up there, and my high school team, our practices were like 3:00 in the morning for high school. Yeah, it was crazy.
3:00.
Oh yeah. Well, that's how. And then we'd have games again, like midnight hockey league, 2 a.m, and after the game I'd shower and go right to work. That's how, and our high school practices were that late. And then we would rent out the ice. That's how we all played too, is like on a Friday or Saturday night. And in the summertime, you could do it anytime you wanted to. But a Friday and Saturday night at like 2 a.m, we'd rent the ice out. And, parents would just drop us off when they'd leave, and we're playing hockey for 2 hours. It was crazy.
Well, kind of walk us through, how do you decide? You got bulk buyers, but how does the ice get divvied up? During the season, like, what's the process to make sure? How far out is it scheduled?
So our process there is like, we give NYHL and GNASH and our figure skating program basically the right of first refusal on their prior season schedule, and that's been established for quite a while. Everybody kind of keeps their own blocks of ice, and there's not a lot of room to move there. There's a little bit of room, like early mornings. The TPH has a clinic on Mondays and Wednesday mornings at 6:15. There's a group of record company guys that skate a couple of times a week.
That's cool.
At 7:30.
Okay.
And then if the Predators aren't using those weekday hours, right now they're kind of available, but that's, nobody can really use them.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Yeah, because I was always figuring out how that works over there, and I'm like, I was concerned. I'm like, man, this men's league going on here. This, yeah, let's go. And then when in advance does, like, say, a Can-Am or a a tournament, like what's
the
it
Country
called?
Western.
What's the one that I
there's
used
12
to do?
of them now. I mean,
Yeah, there's a whole thousand. I know one we used to do all the time, and God, what the heck?
So
was it called?
the Country Western is our oldest tournament. It's been going, maybe 35 years or so now.
Nice.
And it's floated a little bit. When it first started, it was a little closer to, they used to do it on actually Easter weekend.
Yeah.
And it was a Thursday through Saturday tournament.
Okay.
And the Saturday, at the end of the tournament, whatever hotel was the host hotel, they would have an end of tournament party.
That's cool.
That was a blast.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of shifted to where it is now, which is usually second or third weekend in March.
Yeah.
And there used to be flexibility for them to move one weekend or another if they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And then, about 10 years ago, these other companies started contacting me and booking the available weekends, the Can-Am, the weekend hockey tournament, and then Canadian Hockey Enterprises.
That's the one that I used to play all the time in New York. We'd go up to Lake Placid, we would go into Toronto and Montreal, and we'd do all those. That was always a good one. The Canadian Hockey Enterprise one was always good. That was a good one. But
when did it start taking off? How many are there now in Nashville? Do you know exactly? Because they all play at Centennial, don't they?
No, they
or
rotate
some just
now,
do
right?
Fordyce only.
I think there's different companies that, because we ran out of weekends to fit people in, and Ford is going to solicit their own tournaments too. So, Can-Am has tournaments at both. They had a kids event this past weekend, and I think it was split between Bellevue. Between Bellevue and Centennial.
Yeah.
Our total tournament count is somewhere in the 20s.
Okay.
So that's not quite half the year, but
could you guys start doing tournaments then down here and like making it your own, to create revenue, I guess, for you guys too? You say, hey, we're going to do a Nashville tournament because it's, and people always want to come down here. Let's just be honest now.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's a destination. It really is.
Yeah, everyone's come here.
We've thought about that, but it's a year-round job to put on even just one.
To have an event coordinator.
Tournament.
Well, you got to get an event coordinator too. So that's, I know a couple of them out there. You know who you are, Miss Lease.
So I know if you go back 25, 30 years, the NYHL used to run an end-of-season tournament. And even that just got to be too much work. Back then, they didn't even have a paid director. It was all volunteer. All volunteer.
That's cool. That's cool. There's another thing is that, I'm going to revert back to the men's league. I know some men's league too that we were up in New York, they would do, everyone has their team, their ringer team. Have a ringer team, let's get a ringer team and just destroy everybody. And they came up with something cool that they go, we're going to have a draft league. Draft tournaments are pretty damn cool. You play on a team, and they do this, and those guys from the White Horse did this. They told about it. They would say, all right, we keep 3 guys on our team, but you can't keep them more than 2 years in a row. So you have 3 guys on your team, your protected list, and then you draft. You draft players. And you know what? I think that's a great idea. It gets more people involved, and I don't know. I just like that. Instead of just going, all right, we're playing against Team Tag again. Oh, boy. Or would you guys ever think about doing something like that? I mean, takes a lot of work, but you know what? It's fun. You get the captains together, sit them down across the street, go to, Martin's Barbecue or something down there, and you do a little, or you have the boardroom. You have something in there. That'd be pretty cool with the men's league.
You could live stream it.
Yeah.
I mean, if one of our tournaments wanted to do a weekend like that, we'd be all for it. We're just not.
Yeah,
we're not staffed to run to develop
do something
a tournament
like that
ourselves.
Yeah, I get you. All right, I'll sign on. Where do I sign? I'll do this for you guys. See, I'm retired, so I got to do something.
He's a consultant now. He's a draft consultant.
Draft consultant. Well, I tell you what.
Right.
You know what?
Put that on the business card.
Big business right there. We'll do that. But no, I'm just throwing ideas out there, throwing sketty against the walls. It was kind of cool to do that. And I've seen a couple leagues do that, and I'm like, that's actually pretty cool to do that, to draft. I know
we've drafted. We did something similar in our 35 and over league a couple of years ago. You could protect 2 players and then draft the rest, just to kind of level the teams out. We've done it a time or two in our women's league.
Okay.
And then the rest of our leagues are just the teams organize themselves and sign up.
Yeah, well, that's of course. Yeah. Do you have any problems finding refs? Yeah.
Somewhat, yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of stabilized a little bit for the youth games. It can be a little bit of a challenge for our adult games. But we're pretty well staffed right now. Every now and then there'll be scheduling issue and we only get one, or somebody kind of call out late and you can't find a replacement. But
okay, do you put the stripes on then?
I do a little bit.
Okay,
I used to more.
Okay,
and actually, you're from New York.
Yeah.
Okay, so
How could you tell?
Shocking.
This will lead in when the Can-Ams and the weekend hockeys first started coming around. They didn't really have any local connections, so I would schedule the refs, and I would ref a lot of the games myself. And we had this Can-Am tournament. One of the first games Friday afternoon, and it's this 21 and up division and a team from New York. And, it's 3:00 on a Friday afternoon, and they take the ice just hammered.
Might have been my team.
You might have known.
Yeah.
You might have known some of these guys. I didn't get any of their names, but so and I'm reffing, and first half of the game goes pretty smooth. The score starts to get a little lopsided, and the New York kids start to get a little chippy, and maybe their buzz was wearing off a little bit, but they start throwing body checks and going to the penalty box. And by the end of the game, I'm just chewing them out. I'm like, this is game one, guys. What are you doing?
They're like, we want to hurry up and get on town.
This is a long weekend ahead. So I chew them out. I go to the Can-Am site, the staff director, tell him, I was like, I said, I chewed them out, but I don't think my message got through. Why don't you go in? He goes in the locker room and chews them out. So that was their only game scheduled Saturday, or Friday rather. Their first game, they had 2 games Saturday. I did not ref their first game Saturday, but I did ref their second game. And by then, they were still just as drunk, but they didn't get as chippy. Early in the game, one guy throws a check, and I gave him a misconduct and got him out of the game. And the rest of his team is cheering me. They're, yeah, you should have thrown him out during warm-ups, that type thing, So the rest of the game, it just takes on an entirely different, it's a fun attitude. They're having fun. They're falling all over the place. I'm in front of their bench, and there's a lull in the play or whatever, and this guy leans over and he's like, man, you're the best ref we've had all weekend. He says, our first game on Friday, man, this guy sucked. I mean, he hated us. And I turned around and locked eyes with him for a second because I didn't know if he was being sarcastic or not. He was just completely glazed over. There was nobody else. I didn't have the heart to tell him that I was the same guy.
That's awesome.
I just said, yeah, that guy sounds like a real asshole.
What is the most common thing that you got to discipline when you have these types of suspensions? Is it fights? Is it checks? Is it?
We don't really have fights anymore because our fights carry an automatic 3-game suspension, and if you're a repeat offender, you're subject to being tossed. So it's very seldom a full out gloves dropping, squaring up fight. Now there's some scrums, there's some punches, some cheap shots, whatever.
And that's on the ice, not even out in the stands with the dads and moms.
Yeah, the story of the atomic elbow took, nobody goes there anymore. Yeah. Everybody knows better. So it's more just, it could be
just too roughing.
Cheap shot, a cross check from behind, a slew foot type thing. I was actually watching some live barn footage from my game just yesterday of a couple of slew foots that it's in the league that I don't run, so I don't have to administer the suspension. But so it's just things like that here and there. No real one thing that stands out.
So it's all
more than the other.
It's all the slew foots from like Patrick from PK Subban. that slew footer. You know how I feel about him. Don't like him because I'm a Shea Weber fan.
Hey,
there you go.
I'm all Shea. That's it. That guy's best ever. So, all right, let's go. So, all right, let's get back a little bit here. So, with this possibility of this happening, is it just going to be the ice rinks? Is it going to be the pool? Will it eventually be the pool? Or the other side?
The way it's being presented is it's just the ice rinks.
Okay.
And, maybe some of the rooms like the meeting room, the multipurpose room, and the lobby, that office that the skating academy occupies now.
Okay. Your office, the travel office too, would be theirs too then, right? Okay.
Right.
Would they ever add additional, or are they talking about adding additional rooms at all?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they are. Okay.
They are.
But where would they expand out? Which side?
I think so they're definitely looking to expand their private locker room, their training room,
And that's on the
coaches' offices. Those are on the B rink.
The B rink, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The rink A, that field, that grass area back there.
Yeah.
They're planning to put some kind of locker room. I haven't seen
really
renderings of it yet.
Is that going to be TSU?
Sounds like it could be.
Oh wow. Okay. That's right.
I think they're really excited about that TSU opportunity. It seems like it's taken a little longer than they wanted, but from the meeting the other
but
night.
I mean I'm pretty excied about that too.
College hockey.
Yeah.
That's college D1 hockey. Let's be honest. That's got to be pretty cool,
Yeah.
Would there ever be a possibility that would go up in Clarksville, though? That's just too far, right?
For games, it might be a good fit for Clarksville. I think for practice, we had already talked to some of the people at TSU over the past couple of years about what we could work out for them practice-wise.
Well, they were supposed to start last year, right? Or this year, right?
Right.
That whole program, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, they had to push it back.
Okay.
I think next season.
So it's still definitely going to happen.
It's still
okay.
It's still in the works.
What about all the kids that got scholarships for that? Are they on hold with that? Do you guys know anything about that? Because I don't.
I don't know that they ever got around to issuing scholarships.
Okay, I thought a couple kids signed to go there. That's why. I don't know. Maybe
letters of intent or something.
That's probably what it was. Okay.
Well, that'll be a big deal if that happens.
I'd be excited. College hockey. I mean, that's huge. I mean, we have the Spartans, but I'd like to see some college hockey. To me, that's fun.
And you could put some games in Bridgestone as well for that.
Okay. Would they? I'm surprised they don't do that already. With Bridgestone, probably costs so much more money. Obviously, I mean.
It takes a lot to just open that barn, and they do. I don't know how much they do it at the moment, but I know in seasons past they have helped out quite a bit by letting teams practice or play there. Youth teams, high school teams, even some adult teams.
Yeah,
it's hard to schedule. An arena like that.
Parking.
You're subject to a concert booking. You can't just sell the ice or schedule the ice a year in advance for a tournament. Mm-hmm. Because the Foo Fighters might book, or Dierks Bentley, or
or Preds playoffs. You never know. Yeah, they're not going to make the playoffs. Stupid me. I'm sorry.
It's a cheap shot.
I'm sorry. I said it with a smile on my face. Right? That's good. Then
a couple of years, we you look at the standings after like 3 games. I think we were in a
first place
playoff spot.
Yeah, I think you were good then.
Not first place.
Oh man. Well, you know what? I know this has got to be. It's got to be a touching time for you too right now. I mean, 40 years with the program.
Yep.
Possibility of what's going to happen here. I mean, it's got to affect you mentally, and also just stresses out a little bit and going, okay, what's going on here? Is it going to be a good thing? Is it going to be a bad thing? You're in limbo right now too. You don't really know which way to go, I'm sure. And it's thank you for coming in to talk about it too, because it's got to be stressful for you.
A little bit, but both the Predators and the parks director have assured us that the full-time employees and I think even the part-time employees are going to have the option to stay Metro employees. Okay. And instead of the Predators paying us directly, they reimburse Metro, and because like I say, 3 of us are close enough to retirement that we couldn't really give up our Metro jobs.
Yeah, no.
So they're going to take care of these people, is what they're saying.
So
that's good,
and that's coming from both sides. So
that's huge.
It is.
It's because it's like almost. I mean, listen, you 40 years, you're getting close to retirement. You're like, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen here. The stress level's going through the roof. And that's what what my side is. This whole thing is, does the place need a facelift? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it does. It needs a facelift. We're affected to it on the youth hockey side, and again, maybe I'll get back in the beer league. It's sure it's going to affect me, with that. But with the youth hockey, with cost and pricing, same thing with the cost of men's league. The men's league. If I'm a men's league, I'm going. You guys, correct me if I'm wrong. You do it per team, right?
Yes, almost all of our leagues are per team,
and that's how it should be. That's how it is up in New York too. It's per team. But I do know in Bellevue and Bellevue, Fort Ice, it's per player, and I think that's BS. Then you have a sub fee.
It seems like the sub fee is a big deal.
It's crap.
Because it's hard to find people to fill out some teams sometimes, and you'll have 6 guys getting out there. And that's crazy. Yeah. That's some Iron Man stuff there.
Well, we played that too back in the day, but it's BS. Listen, this is how it should be. And to me, that's where you get kind of greedy. You get kind of greedy in a sense. Here's your team. This is your team. You have X amount of dollars. I don't care if you have 10 guys or you have 15 guys. That's your team fee.
Yep.
It's up to you to pay that money. Now, if you have 10 guys, everyone's $300, but you have 15, again, everyone's $300. No, that's bullcrap because you're not going to have ice time. If I want extra ice time, if my team goes, hey, I'm going to have 6 players on it, guess what? I'm going to be in ice the whole damn time. I'm playing it. I'm paying for it. I don't care. And that's what it should be. And with youth hockey, we've talked about this earlier. We understand our kids will be in beer league when we get older, So you kind of want to limit it with costs and everything. It does add up, and it's still expensive, don't get me wrong, but the Flyers are the cheapest ones out of all of it, We enjoy that. I enjoy that, because again, listen, for those who can spend money, great. Go ahead, do it. Congratulations. Is it an investment? Yeah, it's an investment. But to me, my investment's where my kid wants to play, and wants to play with the Flyers. And I think that's our concern is that going to go away? Will that go away? Is it going to still stay the Flyers? And hopefully it is, but you never know. You never know on that aspect. And so you're in a situation here, too, with beer league, with youth hockey, and what's happening. And so I guess we're all in a conundrum. Is that a word? Conundrum. We're all in holding patterns here. It's trying to figure out what the hell is going on and what's right and what's wrong and what's said what's right. I mean, it's stressful across the board. For us, we're in limited time. Our kids are not going to be there forever. We got 5 years, 6 years for our kids. We were kids playing 12U. He's 13U. No, 13U, and I don't even. You're 13.
He's 13.
You're 13. So, and then they're gonna play beer league. And then they're gonna.
You hope?
Yeah. No, they'll play. Yeah, they'll play because I'll play one game with them. That's for sure. We'll put a team
Well,
together.
go back to there's a lot there to unpack.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about the culture and how you try to preserve the culture because each rink has its own culture and that's important. But just so people understand, has it always been no sub fees at Centennial? Has it been that way since you've been there, or is that a newer development? Because I'm interested in the culture of the men's league. And with 60 teams, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
People. That's impressive to have that big of an operation.
We went to a team-based fee. I want to say maybe 12 to 15 years ago. We registered by the player up till that point. Never really had a sub fee. So, if you had players missing and you had to call somebody, they just, the idea was, maybe they can buy that player whose spot they took a couple of beers sometime or something. But that got to be a lot to administer. And then, you have that one or two guys on every team that, can I pay you the first game? No, you can't.
Pay me.
Pay me.
Yeah.
So, that, and then the website that we use to run the scheduling and the rosters and the score sheets and all that, called Sportability, letting them pay that team fee through the website, and then they in turn sent us a check after a administrative fee.
Is paying the refs expensive too? What do they charge per game?
So our refs are we have to have our referees on like an instructor type payroll.
Okay.
So our referees are actually on a Metro payroll.
Oh, cool! Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We did have a referee on here one time, Tommy Landrigan.
Episode 9.
Tommy, episode 9.
Oh, that's a good one.
He did say, tell him say hi. Tell Frank I said hi. I talked to him today. Tommy, you're out there, bud. Hey, you got episode 9. Sorry, Tom. I had to do it to you.
Yeah, Tom worked with us for a while. We taught him how to drive the Zamboni.
Oh boy.
He shared a few of his cop stories from his New York days.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He had some good ones, that's for sure.
And I want to say it's like 45.03 a game or something like that,
okay.
Which is kind of limited to what's available in the Metro pay scale, and that's kind of the max we could get.
Does a referee get paid more at Ford?
I'm pretty sure they do.
They do.
I don't know how much, but I think they're at least 50 or more.
That's weird. Okay. All right.
And that's another kind of hurdle that we ran into, because we've looked at different times in taking our leagues through USA Hockey, which we don't do. And one of the holdups, actually the biggest holdup, was that we weren't going to be able to get USA Hockey certified referees because, we couldn't get all the referees on Metro payroll, and we couldn't work out a way to just pay somebody a blanket fee to like subcontract and like schedule the referees for us. And I mean, that's been several years back, and we really haven't looked at it recently.
Okay.
But that was the big kind of bureaucratic snafu that kept us from registering our leagues with USA Hockey.
Well, is that set in stone that that's going to be, if this goes through, that you're going to have to get into USA Hockey? Because that's what I'm hearing. Some people don't want to necessarily pay the $65 or something every year.
Yeah,
but is that something that has to be done, or it sounds like it's going to cause problems? You're going to have to find a new way to pay people.
Well, so I mean, if and when the Predators run our programs, run our rinks, then they can do things that we can't through the. It could be set up entirely different. It will be run through their
websites
management and their payroll, and they probably could either pay.
Well, they'll definitely have to do the USA Hockey.
Yeah.
So they'll definitely do that. That's what, $75 a year,
somewhere around there.
Plus, now if you're going to sub, that's another. I guess that's why a lot of the. You heard the beer league guys or beer league girls too, and they're getting pissed off about this situation too, because I mean it is extra cash, but 60 teams, you got 60 teams already, and then you got let's say an average of 12 to 14 players per team, probably more than that. I don't know, man. That's a lot. I guess it's got to be some concerns on that side.
from the liability standpoint, though, if you're a private entity, you pretty much have to have that kind of, just for liabilities,
excess insurance.
Yeah,
but that insurance, as well as I do, it's nothing. It's you only do teeth. That's what it comes down to. You only do teeth. But
they make you use all your insurance first. But from the general liabilities, so the players, you might get a sprinkle on top, and hopefully you don't need any catastrophic. But the facilities do get a policy through USA Hockey.
Yeah, save your butt. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any situations that was really scary at all at the rinks? I'm sure you had.
Oh yeah. Oh man, we had a guy, and this goes back to when we did just have one sheet back in the '90s when the minor league, the Nashville Knights, started. There were a few guys that got interested and tried some hockey that were kind of the beginner, novice type, and there's this one big guy who when he bumped into somebody and either fell down or got knocked down or something, he lost his cool and he reached out to grab the guy's legs, and the guy the other guy doesn't know what's going on. He's skating off, slices over his wrist, and
that's not good.
A ton of blood.
Yeah.
He wound up being okay.
Thank God.
But it was.
Oh boy!
It was a mess.
I remember a couple years ago I think it's at Ford, one of the Ford ones. There was a guy that had a heart attack on the ice, and they saved him. There was a medic out there, and they saved him. They did CPR on him and saved the guy. He was out there. He had a heart attack.
One of my buddies, and I can't remember. It wasn't a heart attack, but it was like maybe an aneurysm or something.
Oh, really?
And I actually watched it on Live Barn. Like he's kind of skating backwards, drifting backwards, and all of a sudden just falls over. We may be talking about the same because there was a medic on the other team.
I think it was. I think it was. If you're out there, Brian Bailey, I think saved him.
Okay,
that was one that Brian Bailey saved a guy out there on that one.
We may be talking about the same guy.
It probably was. That it was a couple years ago. I was like, whoa, wow! I think it was. He was skating backwards and just dropped.
Yeah, that was scary. Yeah,
that's incredible.
He's a good buddy of mine.
Oh man, local.
So, glad he's okay.
Good job. I know.
Hendersonville guy.
Oh man. So all right. So I guess we got the more of the beer league side of this too, of the concerns. Your side of this on your concerns. I know, the youth hockey. And that's the thing is I think that's where we mostly are concerned about. The employees, the coaching staffs, the guys like yourself there, that's just
the culture.
Yeah, it's the culture. You guys created the culture. I mean, you've been there for 40 years. You created that. Regardless if you say no, you're not. You've been there for 40 years, so you have some impact that has made Centennial the way it is. James has this the same way. Todd, as the president, has created this culture over at the Flyers that it's been phenomenal, and it's I'm pumped up again. Not to say that the junior Preds or the Warriors or what everyone's got great culture, and it's what you have. It's your preference, and that's fine. My preference is the Flyers. Greg's preference is the Flyers. And
maintaining that choice, and I think that's what's kind of the most concerning to the whether it's the youth hockey families or the adult league guys that
they don't want Dallas.
You lose some choice. Yeah,
they don't want the Dallas situation. And I know, Mr. What's his name, Henry said that I don't like green either, but it is. And I said this a while ago, and Greg knows this. Dallas did it right when they first started, but they started that. They went out and built rinks all over the place. And they put they say, okay, let's build it and put grassroots into it. And then they said, okay, but then all of a sudden they just swallowed everything. And they said, well, if you don't want to play, kiss the ring. You don't want to kiss the ring, you're out.
Right.
And they cranked it up. And I think that's the biggest fear of everybody here. Mr. Henry is actually saying the right things, and it's perfect. Okay, great. I mean, I don't. What do I know? I don't know nothing. But he's telling me this. I'm going to believe him. But there's also past where people say, "Well, wait, Pred Select. You guys took away the Pred Select, and you did this, and you did this." I'm like, listen, they can do what they want. That's my theory on that one too. But
you don't want to get into a situation where you have the monopoly. They try to say it's not a monopoly, and you want to maintain the choice. And so I think it's important that they reach some sort of agreement, whether it's 5 years, whether it's 3 years, preserve the Metro people, and then also make sure that the youth people don't feel like they're being swallowed up into a big machine, into an empire, because we don't have a lot of rinks. I mean, Dallas, you look at that map we looked at, it's only 16 rinks, and I don't know why it's so hard to get one in Williamson County. My God, they've been trying in Sumner County for a while, it seems. Do you have any insight, Frank, as to whether the local governments don't want rinks, or what's taking so long?
I mean, I don't have a whole lot of insight on that. I just will say that, one of the things that Sean Henry said the other night at the community meeting is that there's not money to be made in the ice rink industry.
It costs a lot of money.
You do good to break even or not lose too much.
Yeah.
They're expensive to build, they're expensive to operate,
maintain.
they're expensive to maintain. And you're limited on what you can put in however many sheets of ice.
And it's not everybody wants to go ice skating.
Right.
Not everybody wants to go play hockey. Not everybody wants to do curling.
From just the public aspect of it, it's very seasonal. Your public skates are really busy in December, January, and February, and they're really not in the other 9 months. I mean,
it's even
up and
hockey
down
too.
a little bit.
Hockey too. They shut down. I mean, really, hockey should be shutting down at, right after March, in April. We've talked about this my kid's playing summer hockey. Well, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. I mean, I always hated summer hockey too when I was playing men's league, because then you're like, all right, here come the college kids. And every game you're like, damn it, man, they're just flying around everybody.
Well, I hope we can get some more, but they'll get it right when I age out, I'm sure. Maybe.
You know what? I'm still pushing for that bar, though. I'm still because I do like the concession stands at the other places. I'm a big give me pretzels and hot dogs and cheeseburgers and beer, fries. I like fries.
And then you go over to the gym and you're working off.
There you go. See, that's we gotta revisit
Take the good
that.
with the bad.
We gotta revisit that. Maybe we can get a smoothie bar in there.
Yeah.
I get a smoothie bar. I can have a smoothie protein shake and go run a half mile.
Well, what do you think, Frank? What is your hope as this process plays out? What things do you think that you want to be considered, or what's the best case scenario?
My hope is that the existing programs get to continue, relatively as they are now.
Yeah.
Those programs have developed, whether I've been directly involved with it or not, over the last 15, 20
You're a
plus
fixture,
years.
Frank. You're there, man.
and farther back than that, to get to a good, stable point of where we are now. One of the things the parents were bringing up at the community meeting was the family atmosphere, and how they can reach out to James or Goose and they get a response, and it's not a week later, or if they get a response at all, which is what they alluded to from.
And they're right.
From the other ladies.
They're right. I mean,
that one lady really wanted to keep things the same. You saw her on the news.
Yeah.
The lady talking about the bathrooms.
Oh, yeah.
That was what they led with on the news about this.
Right.
She really.
We'll go pee in the woods.
yeah.
There was a lot of things said. There was a lot of interesting points. I thought it was a good conversation to have, and credit to the Preds for coming out there and credit to everybody else for voicing their opinions and the sled hockey people. You brought that up.
Yeah.
I hope they find a way to keep that going on Sunday afternoons.
Have you ever watched the sled hockey? Man, these guys
amazing.
are great. Oh, they're
amazing.
amazing. They're so good. They're so good. There were a couple of those guys were in the Olympics. Mm-hmm. Those guys were amazing. You're right.
And you know, kind of a little bit lost in that conversation was the fact that the NYHL has sponsored that hour of practice for the last dozen years or
Amazing.
so. And, you know, to give the Predators credit, they get a pretty nice grant from the Predators Foundation. I'm sure every year. I know the conversation that started them practicing at Centennial was at one of the scheduling meetings for the SYTHL, and Troy Weiss with the Wheelcats had just gotten I don't know the dollar amount, but gotten a good grant from the Predators, and they approached us about getting practice time there. And, you know, I happened to be with the president of the youth league at the time, and he said, well, you know, maybe we can do you one better and get you free practice time. And so that we slotted that in on Sunday afternoons because that worked well for the sled team. And, you know, it was kind of after the morning travel games. And so that's been going on for, you know, 10 or 12 years.
What about I tell you what, watching the sled hockey is insane.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool watching it go. I mean,
I've never tried it, but
oh no, I've never did, but it looks great. I mean, these guys are so good too. You know, so you have that. What about like the figure skating and the you know, open ice, like just a public skate? Mm-hmm. How does that work too? Is it always specific times, or is
for the most part? And, you know, as the other programs have grown, and the public skating being so seasonal, you know, we've kind of lost. You know, we used to have public skating 7 days a week. We used to have a 2 to 5 session on Sundays. And
to me, that's a lot of money right there. Because was it $10 to $15 to get in, right?
It's,
the skate.
Our prices are $12 for adults and $10 for kids.
I look, there's over 100 people out there.
Yeah.
That's some good hockey, good skating around now.
Yeah, especially with people moving everywhere. There's more people that might be coming from Chicago, coming from New York.
You know what?
And it is,
Take
but
their money.
it is very seasonal.
Yeah.
You know, like I say, it's really busy maybe 3 months out of the year.
Yeah.
And it's also the most staff intensive. You know, you need 7 or 8 bodies to run a good busy public session, and, you know, you can have a Zamboni driver and somebody watching the skate counter.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Just about everything else.
Well, yeah. What about the figure skating? Because that's big business too. You know, the figure skaters and what days a week do they have the ice, and what times do they have it?
So they have 6 days a week.
Okay.
Pretty much every day but Sunday.
Okay.
They're there as early as 6 a.m. Monday through Friday. You know, they have a block from 6 to 10.
Oh wow. Okay.
You know, a couple of days they go straight through to the afternoon. Some days they have a break, you know, between like 10 and 1. Mm-hmm. And then in the afternoons, Tuesdays and Thursdays, they end with a learn to skate class for beginners on up. They also have a learn to skate class on Saturdays at like 9:45, and we protect those Saturday times during the tournaments too, because that learn to skate class is really a foundation.
That's the beginning, right?
For everything.
That's awesome.
It's the fun stuff.
And the public skates will get people in the doors, and then, you know, you capture some of those that say, hey, I want to learn how to do this better, and they sign up for learn to skate.
What about stick and pucks? I know you have a couple of them. We see that. I know up in New York we call them puck shoots.
Yep.
We call them puck shoots, and they were always packed. You know, goalies were always free.
Yep.
You always got it. Goalies always got it for free, and it was what $10, $12 to get in.
Yeah.
and you were just out there just ripping shots on goalies the whole time. You know, and that was the best part of it as a goal. That's how I got, you know, that's back in the day. That was no goalie coaches and stuff. You went to puck shoots. That's how you play goalie. You know, but you weren't allowed to play games in it. You just have puck shoots, breakaways, and shooting at you and everything. Yeah. So that's how that worked.
So NYHL has typically 2 a week, 3 o'clock on Tuesday and Thursday for a couple hours before the Flyers start practicing. Mm-hmm. You go back before the pandemic, and we had a good adult, especially the open hockey. We would do one around lunchtime on Mondays and Thursdays.
Okay.
And they had a pretty regular following. Guys
I would do that once in a while, lunchtime hockey.
The day before there's a Facebook group, Nashville Open Hockey or Open Hockey Nashville. Guys would do like a roll call, and if a couple of goalies said they would be there,
boom, everyone should got a game.
The skaters would show up. We tried coming out of the pandemic and just never got the following back. So we still do some stick and puck times during that slot. I can't remember when our next one is, but we put them on I think we've got one either later this week or early next week.
Okay, yeah, we used to have some cool stuff called lunchtime hockey where you went and paid $20. You got a hockey game, lunchtime, and then you would have a lunch. They would give you a hot dog and a soda, and you're out of here, or a hamburger and a soda, or a sandwich and a soda, and you're out. And you went and took off. But that was always a great thing. That was always great.
Now, was that when you were a kid or as an adult?
I was still an adult, too.
Yeah.
You know, I was 20, 21, gotcha. Up in New York, and I would do lunchtime hockeys, and they were great, you know. And sometimes they would run clinics, too. There was a guy named, what was his name? God, I want to say Yuri, but I don't think it was Yuri. I forgot his name up there, Russian guy. Used to coach, Alexei, that's his name, Alexei. He used to do clinics, lunchtime clinics, and he would out there run clinics for guys. You know, would you guys ever, think about doing stuff like that at all, too? I mean, that's kind of cool to do a lunchtime clinic for, beginners. A beginner hockey, like, hey, I'm afraid to go out there. And I'm throwing spaghetti against the wall. Just certain things that were really cool, and I thought that was good for the community in the hockey world. And summertime, you can do that in the summertime.
I've never really considered doing that like on a weekday, like lunchtime thing, like you're talking about. But you go back to when we were first growing our adult leagues, and we had Angela Walchuk, power skating coach, would do an adult learn to play class, and she would have one couple of the higher level adult players running the hockey side of it, and she would teach the skating side of it. And the leagues grew so big that they kind of
washed that out.
But she actually did like a 4-week program this summer, and we're looking to do a longer program. Or I said this summer, last summer now, but this coming summer we're planning to try to get a full 8-week type program for that.
Okay, that's perfect. Those are these opportunities and certain things that out there you never know. You never know. Mm-hmm. I mean, again, with all this change happening, again, everyone's on pins and needles and trying to figure it out. But I do want to say, first off, thank you. Thank you for coming in here.
You're welcome.
And doing this.
It's been enjoyable.
We just sit here and we just shoot the breeze here about certain things, what's going on here. We have a lot of... everyone's right now in the holding pattern. We have a lot of questions we don't know or don't answer. I mean, I shot an email to Mr. Henry to see if he wanted to come on the show. I mean, I'd love to have him on the show to talk about his side of what he's saying and what it is. It was great to get you on the show here to have your perspective of Centennial and also the men's league part, because that's your baby. That's your bread and butter right there. And there's concerns from everybody. Greg knows the concerns from the youth side, concerns from you, and I think the bottom line is concerns is to make sure that you guys are still there. you the coaches in the Flyers, NYHL. And that's what I think this is the biggest concern that I think everybody wants, and to keep it cost effective. We don't want to spend more money than we have to.
Exactly.
If not, there's give us options. It's McDonald's today or Burger King today or Wendy's today or whatever. Chick-fil-A. You like Chick-fil-A, Greg?
I love it.
Love Chick-fil-A. I do like Chick-fil-A.
Well, I think ultimately it's going to come down to the Metro Council passing it. So,
what do you hope they take into consideration?
Everything that you guys have talked about here, keeping it affordable, keeping a family atmosphere, keeping the NYHL that's, been around since the 60s.
Why do you think it's lasted so long? Like, what did they get right that keeps persisting?
Well, it's almost all volunteer based. I know they have a couple of paid directors now, but the board is volunteer, not paid. The coaches, might get some of their expenses a little bit. Yeah, they get a little bit of help, but they're not paid. They're not doing it for the money. They're doing it for the passion. They're doing it to give back to a sport that they loved as a kid, and they want the next generation to love. And we got to keep that, and I think that's going to continue regardless of how
I hope so.
Whether it's the Predators run it or whether it stays with Parks. But
yeah, you got some great people there. You got some great people.
Well,
there.
thank you.
Yeah,
I agree with you. 100%.
Yeah. I mean, every time I come in, I see you. Hey, what's up, Frank? How you doing, buddy? And, I'm a little loud. I apologize.
Oh, you're good. I'm used to it.
There you go. Used to Tommy.
So, for those parents or families or beer league players that are Davidson County residents, make your opinion known to your councilman. Email them. Email the park board. Let them know.
Cool.
Whichever way you fall on the issue, now's the time to voice your concerns.
You hear that, everybody? Voice your concerns either way. Make sure you go ahead and take it and run with it. Email, like you said. Email your council people and make sure they're okay and tell them what you want. That's perfect.
Yeah, there's a meeting. There was a meeting on the
3rd, right?
3rd. It's first reading, but it seems like they're trying to get all the stakeholders together, and I think the councilman did a good job the other night trying to get everybody to be heard, but also to, to try to talk to each other more instead of talking past each other.
Kind of keep it on the rails. It started to get a little bit off the
rails.
I
wasn't there. Great. We did videotape it. I don't know if you get a chance.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, you can go to our YouTube page at Beer League Live, and we've got most of it. I'll tell you what, it was a long meeting. I mean,
2.5 hours.
So the video's only 90 minutes because first the battery died, but it was packed in there, and then there was everybody on the walls. And next thing you know, man, it's getting hot. It's getting hot.
Yeah, it got warm.
We thought it was just because there's 50 people more than there should be in this room, but turns out that some of the beer league guys out in the hall,
shut it off.
They couldn't hear what was going on, so they turned off the AC.
Come on.
Yeah, but they kept coming up to the door, and they just shout a question or a comment, and then they disappear.
They dug back out in the cold.
There you go.
But it was quite a scene, and so if you haven't seen that, you can check out the majority of it on our YouTube, and of course we're putting up some clips on the TikTok at Beer League Live as well. So make sure you follow us and subscribe.
Subscribe and like us, follow us, and make sure you keep following us on Spotify also too.
This is a really interesting time for Nashville hockey, and so we're going to keep covering it. We want to get more people on. It's kind of turned into a hockey forum.
Yeah. But that's what's our email address? If anybody has any questions or concerns or want us to talk about something here, please. Hang on, I think I got the email. What is it?
beerleaguelive@gmail.com.
That's right. It's beerleaguelive@gmail.com. Email us any questions.
And one thing we're going to start doing is kind of like a top plays thing. And so if you've got some good clips, you got some good videos of your kid, or even if it's a beer leaguer guy with an incredible goal, we're going to start putting them up. And so, the kids have started watching. So you're in a little bit better behavior.
I did. I was at a baseball game this weekend, and I sent Greg a video of a guy, adult getting thrown out because he was booing the umpire. Boo! He goes, "You're gone."
Yeah. So we're going to start doing that. This is a more serious conversation. But send all your comments or whatever into beerleaguelive@gmail.com. So please, again, email us, talk to us, say hi, any concerns, say how good looking that we are. Hey, it's okay. We're good like that. Hey, I appreciate it.
Lie to him.
Lie to me, yeah. Well, there's also, Frank, I want to let you know, we do this segment in the show here. It's called Get Off My Lawn segment, right, too, because we are in the Get Off My Lawn studios because, look at them over there. Telling us get off my lawn over there. That's right. But also too, I did notice you did reach for your beer that we're all having a cocktail, and you're about a yard short. You just missed it because it was just so short.
Beer?
Yeah, you missed it. You missed grabbing it.
This is a stupid joke.
It's not a stupid joke because it's perfect. Because this is
alligator arm my beer.
No, it's Kevin Dyson's old house. So Kevin Dyson's was just
a yard
short. So if you have to go to the bathroom and you go grab the door and it's just a yard short, it's just because it's Kevin Dyson's house. So I apologize for that.
Kevin Dyson, we're wanting him to come on the show, and I don't know if Coral ever even reached out to him. Right? She might have told us that she was doing it.
She lied to me. Well, of course, my daughter. I'm sure she lied to me.
Well, we need Kevin you to email us at beerleaguelive@gmail.com.
Tell him you found a bag of cash behind a wall.
That's a good call.
I didn't believe it was Kevin Dyson's house until we started getting mail. And there's like some random people just sending him long letters. No, they're asking him for money.
Really?
No, just a sob story saying, "Mr. Dyson, I loved it when you almost won it." And
was it like, can you sign this card? Did you sign it?
No, we haven't gotten any of those.
I would have signed it.
But yeah,
like a paw print.
Well, I mean, here we go. So,
all right. Well, anyway, this is our segment here. We do a Get Off My Lawn segment. So he's going to ask you some questions. Okay. The old Get Off My Lawn segment here. And one of them, you can say, hey, I want to keep this one on my lawn. Or the other one will be, you got to get off my lawn. So one of the two or one of the three, you keep on your lawn. The rest, get off your lawn. So here we go.
Now, some of these...
I think I follow.
Some of these are positive and some of them are negative. Let's just start off with the villains. Let's start off with the villains. All right, we've got Patrick Kane or Ryan Kessler.
Ryan Kessler. Oh, boy.
What am I choosing here?
Which one do you want off your lawn? Which one you keep? Let's go ahead. Which one are you going to come in for a cup of coffee for the day?
I'd have to keep Kaner, and Kessler's got to go.
Kessler's got to go. You got to tell us why, though. You got to give us a little reasoning here.
Oh, goodness. He was a dick when he played. Well, I mean, he was a good dick. He was good at it.
I like it. That's plain
even
and
when
simple.
he didn't play, apparently.
See, I figured you knew about the news now with Ryan Kessler. He got himself in some trouble here in the last week, and he's no longer the head coach of the 15U Little Caesars team up there. He's on suspension, which is that's not good. I'm not going to go into what details he did again because it's all speculation or assumptions or whatever, and not my place. He gone. Bad things happen to him.
He's not just getting off my lawn.
Oh, he's getting off the it's terrible because I did always like the way that guy played, Ryan Kessler, but
he was the guy that if he was on your team, you loved him, and everybody else hated him.
Absolutely, and he was that guy. Ryan Kessler was the two-way forward and just agitated you. But guess what? After what I found out last week, he can stay off my lawn forever.
It's going to get way off your lawn. All right, this one is which is more iconic for the Preds, right? We've got the catfish on the ice. I mean, that's pretty good. Or Cell Block 303.
Ooh.
Going all the way back to the beginning.
That's a tough one, and I think just because they've been around for so long, I gotta keep Cell Block 303 and get rid of the catfish.
He's original. I like it.
If I could get rid of anything, though, it would be the "You Suck" chant.
But that started in 303, though. See, now you contradict yourself here, Frank.
Yeah, that's left over from the
Cell
Nashville
Block
Nights,
can stay,
right?
All right.
The chants.
What, you think it's just tough for the kids? Why do you want to get rid of the...
See, I'm with him
I
on
just
this.
don't think it's creative enough.
That's not creative.
You can
What,
boo,
like
you can razz
Potvin?
people.
Potvin sucks. Don't beat your wife.
That's
Potvin
super
does.
creative.
That's very. But you know what though? This is creative, but it's got to go to the Fang Finger on a power play. Come on, who does that? Did those guys start that? The 303 guys? I think they did.
I don't think they started
What is the history of that?
I want to know what the Fang Thing had it started.
I think the organization came up with that.
Did they
The
really?
announcer, yeah. I think
Ooh,
they
then
started
that's got to
doing
go.
that.
The organization go.
But don't quote me on that because
Well, we're going to have to get to the bottom of that.
What is that? The speech? He shoots, he scores. But what is the whole beginning?
it's all your fault.
I know that, but how does that all go? What's the full thing? You know, you don't know, do you? You don't know. You just, you know what? You just catch on. He goes, he shoots, he scores. You suck. It's all you. Then they go to guy's name.
Yeah, and you just taunt the goalies because goalies are weird.
Richter, you suck.
Goalies have too much power
You know
in
what?
this game.
It's offensive
You
to
guys
me.
say,
I'm
I'm not even
a little
paying.
offended by that.
I should
thing.
get free ice because look at my pads.
You're damn right. I should always. You know what's funny too? Like you said, anytime I was playing men's league, like, oh yeah, it's $250 to play. I'm like, I ain't playing. They're like, I go, goalies don't play, don't pay. Sorry, I don't.
It's almost like a monopoly.
Damn right.
So back in the Nashville Night days, it was a Swiss cheese. It was, I can't remember if it was 3 or 5, but it was Swiss cheese.
I was called Swiss cheese a couple times. That or 5-hole.
and my old boss started that.
Did he really?
Yeah, dude. When I was a teenager, the guy that ran the rink was from like the Cleveland area.
Okay.
And opening night for the Nashville Nights, the auditorium staff almost ruined the ice for the game. And he happened to be there. He went down on the ice. He helped them freeze it over with CO2 and
boy.
Knew some tricks like that. And the game was about 45 minutes late. The arena was, full. It was like 8,000 people, wrestling fans coming to hockey basically. Because it was a wrestling promoter that started that team.
That's awesome.
The Nashville Knights?
Yeah. Or there was the original one of
Really?
the partners, yeah.
I just remember that big inflatable knight walking around.
Yeah, that came a little bit later. So the team went to the arena and said, we want this guy doing the ice. And they worked out a deal where they gave him 8 season tickets right there in like the, corner seats, great seats. I can't remember. I think that was in the Attack Twice end. And we would go to the games. We would drink beer and rock, paper, scissors to who had to go drive the Zamboni in between periods.
Oh, that's awesome. I had too many beers, but guess what? We're good. Inside.
And they had that old original 6 style Zamboni, the big open tank with a conveyor belt. It was like, a 1950 something model.
Crank it up.
Almost.
Now, I heard you had a new electric Zamboni or newish Zamboni.
So we have what's called an Ice Wolf.
Okay.
It's made by an Italian company called Engo.
Okay.
And just the way the competitive open bid process went, they were the only ones that dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's.
They did it right.
The Italians.
The Italians.
And so we've got this Ingo Ice Wolf, and it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I did see you guys zipping around with a new one over there recently.
And so we've had that, I think, or about 2 years.
Yeah.
It's pretty quiet though, right?
It's
Like
extremely
can't-
quiet.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the loudest thing on it are the studs on the tires going over the ice.
That sounds like it's fun to drive.
Little hard to get parts for. But
Yeah, you have a hard time people trying to drive it though.
They
you know,
didn't
'cause-
think about that.
it's pretty easy to drive.
Okay. Okay.
Our fossil fueled Zamboni is, I think, about 11 or 12 years old now, and it still runs pretty well, but it's a lot more work.
I know one time in New York we had a guy trying to drive the Zamboni, stopped it on the ice and melted the ice right
you'll
then and
kill
there.
it,
You're
yeah.
like, oh, dude,
You'll kill the ice quick.
no game tonight.
And there's no
No
quick
game tonight.
recovery for
Nope.
that.
So, all right, what else we
The
got
next
there?
one
What else
is,
we got there?
Who do you
Uh-oh.
like? You got Crazy Kyle, and you got Nash.
Ooh.
So who's staying on your lawn? Because we love both of them. But
That's a tough one. I love both those.
We're not saying one's worse than the other, but you know, one could be a little bit better than the other. Let's just say.
I guess Crazy Kyle's a little more my style, so
Okay.
Nash has got to get off.
I kind of agree with you a little bit too. Kyle's the guy. He's the old piano guy. Get the old Pot Van sucks because I got to throw that in.
how
there.
long has Crazy Kyle been doing it? Has he been here since the
He's been
beginning?
here since I've been here. 16 years.
Yeah, I don't know when I don't think he was original, but he may be. I don't know.
I mean, he's
But I
Getting up
gotta
there.
say, that Nash guy jumping from pillar to pillar, he's propelling himself down and everything.
yeah.
you know,
That's I mean, he got
that's-
best.
dangerous.
that's pretty
Listen,
amazing.
guys.
He
I
got
gotta,
best mascot there a couple years ago.
Did he
I
really?
think. Yeah. Maybe
You know
like
what,
22
though?
or something like that.
Kyle may have to go.
Oh,
Kyle may have to go. I mean, he gets excited. He's out there.
He's way
he's
better
jamming
than
out.
T-Rack. I'll tell you that much.
T-Rex.
He's
Oh,
the
the Titans.
Titans guy.
Oh boy.
I mean, God bless him.
I had a buddy of mine who used to do the Titan go, you know, first down, whoo, you know, the big guy.
Yeah, that
jacked
guy
up
was cool.
That guy's the man.
T-Rack,
That's
though.
Dion, man. There you go, buddy.
All right, we'll wrap it up with who had the biggest impact here. All right, you got 3 to choose from. You got Pekka, Fisher, or Mr. Weber over there.
you know,
Biggest impact on the franchise.
Oh, that's another tough one. I think I'm going to have to go with Weber on that.
I'm agreeing with you on that.
he
You have to
was-
tell
he
me
was-
twice.
Captain, he just that presence. Even just coming out to practice, you just notice that.
His
about him.
leadership,
Yeah.
right? His leadership, everything
And-
about that man, awesome.
That's when the Preds, started to get legitimate. Right?
Yeah.
It took a while.
But all 3 of those guys are top notch in my book.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
Character
a
guys.
goalie, right? I
Yeah.
used to love goalies, and I always liked Pekka. But even before him, you had Dunham. You had who was the other goalie right before him too? He was before Pekka was pretty decent.
Vokun.
Vokun was great. He had some really, really great save percentages every year. Good call on Vokun. I remember him. I love that guy. And then you had Pekka, and then you had what's his name?
Jussi.
over here? Jussi, little guy.
Yeah, little goalie that could.
He's good though. I like him
Sometimes
too.
he can. When he gets going,
He gets
going
going. He gets
really
going.
well.
I love
right?
that guy. He's actually good. But yeah, it's a good call. But I'm with you. With Webs.
And your favorite Predator moment?
yeah,
I
what is
wanted to
it?
hear. What sticks out to you? Was it?
You go back to that, season they made the run on the cup and the sweep of the Blackhawks.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that they didn't score a goal, 2 shutouts in a row on the road to start that series.
And they never recovered.
And all of a sudden, all
they
of a
haven't.
sudden, the Blackhawks were old news.
Yeah, they really were. Because they were first place. They were number one seed.
Yeah, we barely scraped into the playoffs as an 8 seed.
I remember running down Broadway. I was down there for some reason. It wasn't at the game, but just high-fiving everybody on Broadway when we swept them.
We're
Man.
like, this guy's crazy. This guy's
No, people were like, the Preds, oh, okay.
What's that team? Can I go to
they had
Tootsie's?
no idea.
And you could probably still find a screenshot of where somebody went on the Blackhawks Wikipedia page and listed Pecorine as their owner.
Oh, no. Seriously?
Seriously.
Oh, that's great. I like it. That's you know what? I'm back to being what the I know what this is. This is my segment. This is what gets me going. These are my rants. So if you look behind me, Seth's rants. Right there. These are my rants. So guys, I got a little something that pisses me off a little bit too. These are the things that gets me going. You know what? Everyone here knows on podcast land, and all my friends and people that know me or people who don't know me, I love gas station coffee. I hate that foo-foo coffee. I hate those crazy, let's get this cappuccino or whatever these things. So I am a gas station coffee guy. But you know what pisses me off lately? I get to go into a gas station and they have those coffee machines. They taste like crap. Those coffee machines taste like crap. And you go, what am I hitting here? This boom. And you have the beans up top, and you go, oh, is it medium? Do you leave for cream? Yeah, no, I don't. God, no. Give me a glass pot and let it make so I can grab it, sniff it, and go, oh, that one's burnt. I want the other one. Oh, that's a good one. And there you go. And you dump it in. And that's what I want. I can live with the big vats now that they have those. Sometimes they have the vats, and you look at them, and it shows you there's a triangle that shows you when it's been made. I don't even know when it's been made. If it's this when it's one triangle or if it's the whole thing, I don't know. I get all pissed off. I look at later. Is this fresh? They're like, yeah, it's fresh. And the whole thing, and I'm like, okay, I just want to make sure because I get so mad because I'm not sure if the lowest one with the triangle or all of it's filled in.
I've seen you make your own gas station coffee.
You're damn right I did. I love my gas station coffee. So my rant is these coffee machines because they don't clean them out. They don't clean them out, and there's just lazy employees at these places. They went and got them done. They're like, oh, yeah, it's cost efficient. It's efficient. Yeah, no, it's not cost efficient. It's the lazy person behind the counter not walking their ass outside and picking up and cleaning the pot, making a fresh pot of coffee for a guy like me to walk in there.
That's the best part of your day.
And one more part. If I go into a gas station that has everything that I enjoy and it doesn't have any flavored creamers and it has that powdered creamer, damn it, I want my flavored creamers. You gotta have the
What do you
flavored
like,
cream.
French cream?
French, hazelnut, I don't care.
I like
Irish
the hazelnut.
cream.
Yeah, I love
give
that
me-
hazelnut.
Exactly. But you know, if you go in there and they just have the powdered, you're like, damn it, I wasted my trip to a gas station coffee. I'll still drink it though. Thank you very much.
I'm with you on the Irish cream.
Right? See, there we go. Thank you very much. Right? There's my rant today. Thank you.
It was pretty
Glad
tame.
you got that off your chest.
I did. I was just always getting to me that coffee. Oh God, man. Well, I want to say again, thank you. Thank you so much for coming
Thanks
in.
for having me.
This is
been
what
fun.
we do. We just sit here, we BS, and just enjoy what's going on. I know you're busy, and I know you got some stuff on your plate right now. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you, and I appreciate hanging out, seeing you every day. Hey, Frank, what's up? Okay, so what's going on? And then when you're taking the Zamboni out, you missed a spot. No, I didn't.
I still miss spots every now and then.
That's okay. Though.
Thanks
40
for doing
years
it for,
later.
for 40 years, man.
40
That's
years,
awesome.
man. That's can we get another clap on that one for 40 years? Give the claps. Claps.
It's hard to do anything for 40 years.
Yeah, and a unicorn, too. He's a unicorn for a job at 40 years and unicorn for being here in Nashville, starting off in Nashville, because we don't know anybody that's been original here, so.
Yeah, we need a golden watch, Mr.
There we
Henry.
go. I think, we should get him, though.
gold
I think we
watch.
should get him a T-shirt. Oh, you think so?
I
Yeah,
think that's a great
We
idea.
get him a T-shirt. I think we got to get a T-shirt and say thank you so much for coming on the show. We have parting gifts now.
All right.
So here you go. We got the Beer League
Yeah,
Live
okay.
T-shirt for you. Thank you so much. Wear it in pride, and people go, "Hey, that's a pretty cool shirt." And where'd you get it from? Got it from Beer League Live. Follow them on TikTok.
You even got my size right.
There we go. See, I knew that. See, I knew. extra small.
Hey, we got a bunch of hoodies on the way too. We're going to start selling here.
And selling them, selling hats too. We're gonna have underwear. We can sell underwear, as you think, and maybe coffee mugs, so I can bring it into a gas station.
Coffee mug. Yeah, there you go. Well, this has been a great show. Thank you for shedding some light on the history of Centennial Sportsplex. I mean, it's an awesome thing.
Yeah. Well, thank you again for everything, and I appreciate it. It's just, again, thank you for 40 years, and thank you for this, and hope to see you for 40 more years, because we'll be there at the rink still. It's
been a labor of love.
There you go, bud. All right. Well, thank you so much for everyone out there. Thank you for Beer League. Again, follow us on Spotify and email us at beerleaguelive@gmail.com. Thanks, everybody, and peace.